Hello and welcome to History 2010. This is the United States from colonial times to 1865, and this is a 16-week internet class. I'm the professor for the class. My name is Dr. James McDonald, and what we are going to do in what I promise will be a short introductory video, and this will kind of serve the same purpose as if we were sitting in a class together, kind of covering the Moodle shell and looking at the syllabus. And that's what we're going to do. Tell you a little bit about the course requirements and the expectations. So this will apply to the several internet sections that I'm running this semester. And if I don't mention your section specifically, trust me, it does apply to you. I'm running several of them at the same time. So we'll look at Moodle, and we'll also look at the syllabus, which I have hopefully pulled up here as well. That's what the syllabus looks like, and we'll go back and forth. Okay. Information about me you can find on the syllabus. I am on campus over in Kaiser Hall, but this is an internet course, so I expect most of you will communicate with me through email. Just spell my name correctly when you email me. It's MacDonaldJ at nsula.edu, and I ask that you write the section number in the email. Just don't put section or History 2010 because I'm running 5 2010 sections and I don't know what section you're in just by your name. If you find that your email doesn't get answered, it's because I'm annoyed and don't have the time to waste to look up every role to see what section you're in. So put somewhere, either in the body of the email or in the very little used subject line, what section you are in. Section 2, 3, the dual enrollment 2IH section that we have. The class objectives are written on the syllabus. That'll be linked in Moodle, so you can look at that anytime you want. I'm going to go back to Moodle because I'll mention the textbook. What you'll need to do is click right here. We're using an electronic text, an ebook. You're not going to get a physical book, and you'll click here and you'll get a link to the publisher of the textbook. You'll need to create a login, and after that happens, you'll have the book. There are no extra activities other than what I put in Moodle. That'll be discussion boards. I mentioned the syllabus already. The university policies that are required, sometimes in the syllabus, but now we have them separate. They're in the Moodle shell as well, all the information that you might need. And all the links and everything else will be right there. It's a PDF document. The discussion board rubric I'll talk about in a minute as we get into the different requirements for the class. I like to keep the syllabus very simple and straightforward and not fill it with a bunch of unnecessary information. In the class, we're going to have 4 exams. I will drop the lowest exam of the 4. The exams are made up of 50 multiple choice questions. You will have an hour to complete the exam. The exams come from the textbook, and what I post every time we have an exam before the exam is actually a study guide. So let's look at the first block in Moodle. So most of your grade is made up of your 3 best exam grades. You take 4, we drop the lowest. The final exam is just the 4th exam. It's not comprehensive. It's not encapsulating the whole semester. It's just exam 4. That's open during finals week. All right, let's go back to the Moodle shell. I'll have the first couple of weeks open in this video just to show you how the course is set up. Okay. Whoopsie. Sometimes it just lets you look at 1 week at a time. This is kind of the new update to Moodle, for better or worse. Okay. And the other thing I'll do is I'll highlight every week as we go along. This is our first week, and you can see what you have to take care of. You've got the first textbook chapter, and you will need to read that. We're starting slowly. There is a study guide that when you click on the study guide, it will open a Word document. because the first exam covers the first 3 chapters. So you can use this as you do the reading. Also notice there are 50 study guide questions and there are 50 exam questions. So you can put it all together and figure out that this is what you need to know as you do the reading. I know reading history books isn't exactly maybe the most fun. This book is pretty good. One of the better ones, believe it or not. You may not think that when you're reading it and you nod off or it brings on a cure for insomnia. But again, I'm not really selling it, am I? No, it's not bad. And more importantly, what I'll have in Moodle for the time before, let me see as we go backwards here, see what this is doing. Okay. So what we'll have is not only a study guide, but we'll have an outline for every chapter. So the major points that come out of the textbook, use it if you want. It's right there. Since we only are doing chapter 1 in the first week, you'll have chapter 1 outline. The collision of cultures is a little video introductory from the authors. And going forward, you got week 2. You're going to be reading chapters 1 and 2. Again, for folks who've joined the course late, we're not piling on the work early on. There's adding and dropping and everything like that. So over the first 2 weeks, you'll have the first 2 chapters that you need to read. So there's chapter 2 outline. There's no study guide because it was already put in week 1. And here you'll have your first of the other assignments in the course of the semester. So your grade is made up of 4 exams. We dropped the lowest grade, and then that's 75% of your grade, and the other 25% is the 4 study guide, discussion boards that you've got. You don't have to turn in study guides to me. I often get that question. It's for your own use, but what you do need to do is complete the discussions. They're Q&A. They come from either documents you need to read, or in this case, the first one is a crash course American history video. You've probably seen these either in history or in other disciplines. They're very, very well put together and very well researched. And you'll need to click here and answer the question. There are requirements for the discussion board, very straightforward. First of all, they need to be 150 words. If you don't turn them in 150 words, and I have a counter on them, so I'll be able to tell really easily. Your grade will reflect that. They're each worth 25 points. They are due on Friday of the week that I assign them. So you can see in week 2, it's due at the end of the week at 5 p.m. I'm not super stickler for detail on that. As long as it comes in by Friday, and yes, these things are timed. So if you turn it in on Saturday, it's a day late. It'll be a grade late. If you turn it in the next day, it'll be 2 grades late. And then after the 4th day, don't bother. I'm telling you this as a friendly reminder that if you turn all these in and do them, and if you write in your own words, meaning you don't lift the answer from the internet, I want you to answer the question, in other words. 150 words is nothing. It will come out very easily from your brain. Do not use AI. We have an AI statement not only in the class, but we also have one as part of the university policies, since AI is a thing and it's not going away. So I want this to be answered in your own words. So those are the major requirements. Don't treat this as a long text message where you don't capitalize, use any punctuation, follow any grammar rules. You can click on this rubric here, which is a fancy education word for essentially your expectations. You need to answer the question, answer it thoroughly, and for me, turn it in on time and at least 150 words. If you sat through this video, you are aware of the expectations. If you turn one in at 75 words and tell me, I didn't know, you know. I'm telling you now. And it's right there in the Moodle shell. I will tell you this also. I've had students who have A averages on their exams and then end up with a C in the class because they don't turn in any of the discussion boards. They're 25% of your grade. We also fall victim to what is called, I call it discussion dump. That's when at the end of the semester in November or December, you decide to suddenly complete all the discussions. I will not accept them. All right, this is an easy way to help your grade. If you have a B or C average in your exams and you turn all of them in, the discussions, this will help your grade. If you don't turn them in, it will hurt your grade. There are 4 of them. They are dispersed through the semester. All right? You don't have to make comments on each other's unless you feel compelled to do it, but just thoroughly complete the answer. No plagiarizing or copying off the interwebs. No AI. Just answer in your own words. I want to see what you think of the particular response and respond to the question. And it's right there. You'll watch the video, and we'll go a little bit further along here in the Moodle shell. This is week 3. You've got another chapter to read. And so with a new chapter, you've got a new chapter outline. All right. So after 3 weeks, you've got 3 chapters read. Now, the pace picks up a little bit. We're going to be reading the first half of this textbook, so we get through the American Civil War. And then exam 1 will open on the end of the week. Exams are open from Friday morning at 8 o'clock until Sunday at 11 p.m. You need to complete them then. All right? No excuses for missing the exam. It's very straightforward. You have literally 3 full days. You cannot sit there with the exam open. It is timed. The answers are randomly filtered. The questions are in different order. So you don't have time to look up answers when you start the exam. So you have 60 minutes to complete the 50 multiple choice questions. Very straightforward. All right, so after 4 weeks, you've got your first discussion done and your first exam done. Week 5, what do? Well, we start a new section, and you can see that I put up the study guide for chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right? So the next exam is going to cover chapters 4 through 7. That'll happen in week 8. So we go along this way. 1, but no more than 2 chapters every week. Week 6, you've got 2 more chapters to read, chapters 5 and 6. Week 7, you have another discussion. And the discussion is related to what you're reading in a textbook. So this is an example. Again, every section will be a little bit different. This is literally a primary document. The Shawnee Chief Tecumseh and the Indian Confederation that was put together in the Northwest. By the Northwest, we mean Ohio, not Washington and Oregon. Anyway, that's something that one section will have. Others will have different discussions as well. So once again, very straightforward. This class is designed for you to succeed and do well, but you have to do the work. Get the book, link activated right here in this first block. Be aware of when the exams happen. The syllabus, I guess I'll look at real quick, but literally everything in Moodle tells you 2 things. It tells you when you need to get everything done, and then it's where you get everything done. So after going through the basics of the class, expectations, objectives, and all that, the next thing we have is the class schedule. So this is kind of redundant because you will also see this in Moodle, but this is like the whole semester all laid out and organized, including the Thanksgiving break, the last exam that we have, when you have your discussions due, and yeah, 3-page syllabus. I don't fill it with a bunch of unnecessary things you don't need, just the basics. All right, and during finals week, we'll open the exam nice and early in finals week, literally the first day, close it the following Monday, and then the class is over. You'll be able to see your progress in the gradebook. I'll mention that very quickly. Some folks panic and see that, oh my God, my average. Well, just keep in mind that we're dropping, you haven't gotten all the work done, and it sometimes takes into account assignments that haven't been counted yet. So, complete all the exams. We'll drop the lowest one. Your first 3 best exam scores plus your discussion answers. That all factors into your grade. So again, pretty straightforward. I think you'll enjoy the class. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, concerns, or problems, please don't hesitate to email me, and I'll circle back to what I said in the beginning. Make sure that you put your section number somewhere in the email to me, and your answer will come in. Thank you.